and welcome back to my channel. My name is Marta and I am the chef and author of Sense and Edibility, a site where I teach you everything I know about cooking, baking, and cocktail making. And today's video is about low budget chicken and rice dishes. These globally inspired chicken and rice dishes can go from prep to the table in about 30 minutes. And they're relatively inexpensive. I mean, at least as far as I'm concerned. On average, they're $2.50 per person. And these may be low budget meals, but they're not low on flavor. So let's get into the video. But before we do, I would love it if you would click subscribe and subscribe to my channel down below. Also sign up for notifications so that you can get notified every time I post a new video. Let's start with the easiest chicken and rice dish, the North American chicken and rice dish. You need 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, which are going to cost you $4. You also need 2 cups of brown rice, that's 56 cents. Or you can replace this with long grain white rice for 60 cents. Peas and carrots, or you can use corn or broccoli, and this is about 60 cents for 2 cups. 3 cups of chicken stock for $1.53. And lastly, chicken spice blend. Now I make mine at home using a recipe that you can find on my site for 6 cents for 1.5 tablespoons. If you want to buy a store-bought version, it's probably going to run you about 10 cents for this recipe. So this is what you need for the North American chicken and rice dish. Now for a family of 4, this is going to run you about $6.75 or $1.69 per person. Ta-da! Now I just want to jump in here while we're getting started and say that I live in Texas. So prices may be a little bit different down here than they are where you're at in the rest of the world. Just know that I price this out to average what the nationwide costs are here in the States. All right, back to the video. Okay, let's go south of the border with our Mexican-inspired chicken and rice dish. You're gonna need 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs, same price. 3 cups of chicken stock, same price again. 2 cups of long grain white rice at 60 cents. 1.5 to 2 cups of fajita veggies at 81 cents. Now, this is just green bell pepper, red bell pepper, some onions, and mushrooms, and they're frozen, but you can also cut them up yourself for much cheaper. And taco seasoning or Mexican seasoning blend. This is 48 cents if you make it store-bought, but I make it at home for 6 cents, and you can find the recipe for that on my site, senseandedibility.com. And you're gonna need 1.5 tablespoons. This is all we need to make our Mexican-inspired chicken and rice dish, and for a family of 4, it only costs $6.94, or for 1 person, it will cost you $1.74. Ta-da! Again, let's hop across the pond for an Italian-inspired chicken and rice dish. 4 chicken thighs for $4. 3 cups of chicken stock for $1.53. And farro, which is an Italian grain. You need 2 cups of this, and it's going to cost $2.25. But you can replace it with brown rice for 56 cents or white rice for 60 cents. 2 cups of a Tuscan veggie blend, which costs $2.55, but it also comes in its own sauce. So this has tomatoes and asparagus and artichokes, but you can also use these separately and cut them yourself. This is an Italian seasoning blend for 43 cents. And for a family of 4, it is $10.76 with farro, $2.69 per person, or $9.11 with rice, or $2.28 per person. Now for an Indian-inspired chicken and rice dish, you're gonna need 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts, 3 cups of chicken stock, 2 cups of basmati rice for $1.77, and fresh spinach for $2.80. And lastly, garam masala for 61 cents for 1.5 tablespoons. This costs $10.71 for a family of 4, or $2.68 per person. Let's go to the Far East for an Asian-inspired chicken and rice dish. 4 thighs for $4, 2 cups of jasmine rice for 82 cents, 3 cups of chicken stock for $1.53, And stir-fried veggies for $1.55. You're gonna need 2 cups of these. And bulgogi marinade for $3.66. For a family of 4, this costs $11.56 or $2.89 per person. For Polynesian-inspired chicken and rice, you need 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $4. You're also going to need 3 cups of chicken stock for $1.53, or you can replace it with coconut water for $2.58. 1 cup of huli huli sauce for $1.69, or you can use teriyaki sauce. 2 cups of long grain white rice for 60 cents, and a sweet potato, but in order for it to cook down properly, you need to dice it like this. 1.5 cups of sweet potatoes is going to run you 60 cents. All in, this meal will cost $8.80 for a family of 4 with coconut water, or $2.20 per person. With chicken stock, it'll be $6.06 or $1.52 per person. Now on to my favorite island for a Puerto Rican-inspired chicken and rice dish. 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs for $4. This time you're going to need medium grain rice, 2 cups for 67 cents. That was hard to say. 3 cups of coconut water for $2.58. You're also going to need gandules, which are pigeon peas, for $1.83. This is just a can. And 1.5 tablespoons of adobo. You can buy it store-bought for 9 cents or make yours homemade using a recipe on my site for 6 cents. All in, this is going to cost $9.17 with coconut water, or $2.29 per person. Or it's going to cost you $8.12 with chicken stock, or $2.03 per person. Now for our final West Indian inspired chicken and rice dish, and this is also going to be the one I'm going to show you how to make the rest of the dishes. You need 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $4, 3 cups of coconut water for $2.58, 3 cups of long grain rice for 60 cents, 1 cup of jerk marinade for $4.10. You can also use jerk seasoning, and 2 cups of okra for free 99 or 60 cents if you don't garden. If you make the coconut water version, this is going to run you $11.88 for your family of 4, or $2.76 per person. If you make it with chicken stock, it'll be $9.30 or $2.12 per person. So let's get cooking. You want to marinate the chicken thighs in the marinade or spice blends. And usually I do this overnight, but at least an hour ahead is recommended. In a 6-quart stock pot or Dutch oven, you want to heat 1 tablespoon of olive oil over medium-high heat and add the marinated chicken to the pot. Brown these for about 3 minutes per side and then remove them from the pot. This just gets the cooking process started on them. Add rinsed rice. You want to rinse your rice at least 4 times so it doesn't cook up sticky to the oil in the pot, and season it with salt or adobo and give it another stir. Add your veggies, whichever veggies you're using, followed by the chicken stock to the pot, and stir this all to combine it. Go ahead and return the chicken to the pot, and you want to allow the liquids in the pot to come up to a boil over medium-high heat. Once the liquid is nearly evaporated, give everything a stir. Lower the heat to low, and then put a piece of foil and the lid on so that you can create an airtight seal. Steam this for about 20 to 25 minutes and fluff it with a spoon, and you're ready to enjoy all of your chicken and rice dishes. As you can see, I wasn't lying when I said that you can make chicken and rice 8 different ways. Now, some of these dishes are going to cost more because the ingredients are more, I hate to use this word, exotic, but they're exotic to American palates. You can save money on those more expensive versions by making your own marinades at home. But if you just don't have the time, picking up a jarred version is going to be fine. It's just going to be a little bit more expensive. But still, at like $3 per person, you're not going to be able to buy anything that has ingredients that you can actually name and that doesn't have tons of preservatives or additives. You're not going to find anything for $3 per person. So I do hope you enjoyed all the different versions of chicken and rice. But let me answer some frequently asked questions that I get about these dishes. You can absolutely replace the chicken thighs in these recipes with boneless, skinless chicken breast, or you can use boneless, it doesn't have skin, boneless center cut pork chops. Yeah. So they come in the packs. It says that center cut boneless pork chops. So they're yeah. I don't know why I want to explain more, but that's what they're called. So you can replace the chicken thighs with those. I would not replace the chicken with beef, because if we're looking at what kind of beef is tender enough to cook with the rice in that 20 or 30 minutes time, filet mignon is the only thing that you're going to get. And why spend that much money on filet mignon? You should be eating that by itself. So no beef, no, sorry, just chicken or pork. That's it. The rice in any of these dishes can be replaced with a similar grain. And by similar, I mean something like brown rice that's been soaked. You need to soak your brown rice for about 20 minutes before you go to cook it, because brown rice still has the husk on it, which makes it more tough. So it won't cook down in the same amount of time as white rice, which is, the husk is removed, the hull is removed, and it's polished. Farro is another grain that you can replace the rice with, like we did with the Italian-inspired chicken and rice dish. Farro is just another type of grain, but it does have a chewier texture. It has a nuttier flavor. You can replace the rice with wild rice, basmati, jasmine, medium grain. I would avoid short grain or arborio type of rices and sushi rices because they're more glutinous, so they kind of turn mushy during the cooking process. Veggies, you can go wild with the veggies. Try to avoid using vegetables that are super tough, which, I mean, if I'm being honest, there's not many veggies that you can't add to this recipe, especially if you're using frozen veggies for the sake of convenience. You can just layer them onto the rice before you start to steam the rice. When it comes to veggies like potatoes or sweet potatoes, you do want to make sure that they are small dice, or at the largest about 1/4 inch cubed. You don't want them to be too big, because if they're too big, they won't be tender enough towards the end of the cooking time. Get creative with what you're adding to your chicken and rice dishes. I mean, if you can get ube or purple yams or taro root or cassava, yuca, if you can get these types of vegetables or tubers or starches or gourds where you live, go for it, use them. But remember to cut them down to a decent size, smallish size, so that they all cook at the same time as the rest of the vegetables. I mean, we eat pineapples in Puerto Rico. People eat pineapples probably in Papua New Guinea. So how does that, it doesn't make it Polynesian just because you add pineapples to it. But if you want to add pineapples, go ahead and add your pineapples. It'll make it kind of Swedish, but yeah, that's the reason why I don't add pineapple to my Polynesian-inspired chicken and rice, because pineapples don't equate to Polynesian. So that's just my opinion, though. I might be wrong. Gandules are pigeon peas, or dungo peas in some countries. They come from the Indian subcontinent, but they're not made with pigeon. There's nothing pigeony about them. There's no fowl or bird. They are vegan. They're just a type of legume, but they're a great substitute for regular beans or peas, which my son hates. He despises peas. So I just add gandules to the chicken and rice, because that is a very common legume that we eat over there. You could also add it to the Indian chicken and rice, because again, Indians eat gandules. If you want to make a heartier dinner, you can add kimchi to the Asian-inspired chicken and rice. You can add fried plantains, sweet or green, to the Caribbean chicken and rice dishes. You can add naan to the Indian-inspired. You can add trying to think what you can add for the Polynesian-Inspired. You could add like a a macaroni salad, like they do with the lunch plates in Hawaii. Or you can add warm, crusty loaves of bread. You can add a garden salad. You can add a caprese salad to the Italian-inspired. You can add pico de gallo or guacamole or, you know, something along those lines to the Mexican-inspired chicken and rice dish. Go wild. Do your thing. You're paying only $2.50 per person. So ball out. You know, do you. Boo. I do hope you enjoyed my 8. I gave you 8 recipes in this video. So, I mean, I think that deserves a like. So go ahead and click the like button right now because I'm your girl and I hooked you up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and sign up for notifications so that every time I get up on here, you guys can be alerted. I do want to thank you for watching this video of 8 globally inspired chicken and rice dishes for $2.50 per person on average. I have to say that because some of it's more expensive and I don't want y'all calling me out. Go to CincinnatiAbility.com and take a little gander around there. I think you'll find some more recipes that you like. Thanks so much for watching and I will see you on the next video. Can I just tell y'all that I recorded this whole thing, like 4 hours worth of footage, only to discover that I had lip gloss on my retainer. I got my braces taken off. Look, I got good teeth now. But I had lip gloss on my retainer and I look like a clown, so sucks to be me. I do hope that you enjoyed all the different types of chicken and rice, I mean, they're vegetables too. Chicken and rice. This. Oh, uh-oh. Oh.